Thank you to Weepa Studios for the theme music, which I haven't used in a while because it's been a while since I've done a Thursday show with the official, with this studio in a while. Thank you to Comic Crusaders. Love those guys. Before I bring in my co-host and have an amazing kick-ass big pippin episode, I'd like to thank my two sponsors. I'd like to thank the Marco's Pizza. The Marco's Pizza is Northern New Jersey's greatest pizzeria. Its food is nutritious and delicious, and it's the sexiest pizzeria on God's green earth. You can find them at 1926 Unadilla Road, Unit, New Jersey, 07421 973-728-1344. DeMarcosPizza.com. If you're planning a Super Bowl party this Sunday, New Patriots are going to win. Set it. Go Pats. You can have them cater the party. They'll cater any type of event. They're awesome. Tell them about it. I'm sent you. Once again, 1926 Unit Valley Road, New Jersey, 07421 973-728-1344. DeMarcosPizza.com. Tell them about it. I'm sent you. And of course, we'd like to bring and thank the kinkiest, the sexiest, the most perverted convention on God's green earth. They got porn stars and seminars and meet and greets and spankings and ball blasting. Any type of kink you can imagine, you can explore it at Exotica. Exotica Expo starts its yearly tour April 10th through the 13th at Chicago at the Rosemont Convention Center. Got it Rose in Minneapolis, Minnesota, but why are we going there? It's Minneapolis, for crying out loud. Addison, New Jersey, my home show, October 23rd through the 25th. December 3rd through the 5th, it comes to Tony Montana's hometown. I'm going to try to go see where Scarface was filmed while I'm there if I go. That's at the Miami Convention Center. ExoticaExpo.com. Tell them about it, I'll send you. And of course, the Kickstarter for the month. This is a series that I am behind. I love the creator. I love the story. Shut the fuck up, Amazon. Just shut up. But Space Monkeys, it launched on Monday and it runs to March 2nd. Speaking of Space Monkeys, my co-host and man in the chair for this episode. All right. If you see me go get a baseball bat and destroy my Echo Dot live on camera, don't say I didn't warn you beforehand. Well, let's bring in the nemesis, the co-creator and creator of Space Monkeys, the one, the only David Howard.
What's going on, my brother? And hey, man, that intro kicks, man. That's rocking. That was pretty cool.
All thanks to D-Real Almega, the CEO of Comic Crusaders and Weepa Studios.
Damn, man, that thing kicked ass. That was pretty cool. I like that.
Yep, best money I ever spent, worth every penny.
Sweet. What is going on, my brother? It has been a hot minute since I've been on the show.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
And like I said, just getting back to full health after a month of insanity. But at the same time, I also got a clean bill of health. And the CLL is not progressed, and it's pretty much everything is an acceptable means through the grace of God, and it's now getting my life back in order, and taking care of some other health and personal matters, and just trying to plan out a couple of little short movies to make, and doing ASR. What's new with you, sir?
Oh, it's the same old thing, doing some drawing, doing some graphic design, getting diagnosed with cancer, running a Kickstarter campaign. It's just a typical year. So, no, I mean, life happens, but we have finally brought Space Monkeys to the masses, man. It's been a while, but, to quote Orson Welles, there will be no wine before it's time. There'll be no Space Monkeys before, it's funky. I don't know, whatever. We'll find something to rhyme with. But, I was going to launch Space Monkeys in November. And I was like, people got other things to worry about in November. So we held off. We launched it in February. It gave me some time to finish up some projects that I wanted to go along with Space Monkeys, which I can show you as we go. some stuff that goes with Space Monkeys. And I'm happy, man, because we funded in 2 hours.
I went on to look at it because I forgotten how much of a bitch Kickstarter is for, just for Windows, MBTA, and other screen readers. And I saw that it was like funded by the time I got there late Monday afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't launch till 6 p.m. your time, and we were funded almost immediately. And it just kept going up, and then we blew by the first 2 hours. We blew past the first stretch goal, and we are well on our way to the second stretch goal. I don't know where this is going to end. But I'm enjoying where we're going right now. We've got more good news on the horizon. I will say, I've had moderate success with other comic books, moderate by indie standards, which, is fairly tame, to be honest with you.
Right now, this has been blowing my mind. And
yeah,
I showed it to my friend who owns Wonderworld Comics and Retro Pop or Collectibles or whatever he calls the other shop he owns, as well as to somebody out in Michigan and Ohio. And I checked on the Kickstarter. He gave it a thumbs up.
Sweet. Yeah.
One of my buddies over at Calamity Collectibles said it looked good. His initial reaction was like, I took it with a grain of salt because of the number he gave me. Because I'll take 69 copies right now. But
wow.
Like I said, he said the number 69, so that's why I took it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And that's his answer to everything.
I will tell you, man, my novel has been out for 2.5 years. And I went to a con once and I was feeling a little down. And I was speaking to a professional, who was like with a big company about indie. And she talked to me afterwards. And I said, yeah, it's like, I was like, I've sold about 100 copies in 2 years of the novel. And she's like, well, then you're doing better than 99% of indie creators. I was like, really? So, and as much as I love Phoenix Throne, it didn't do, as what I thought it would do. It's still selling copies, but it's slow. But man, we've been doing this Space Monkeys for two days. We've already sold 141 copies of Space Monkeys. So,
and like I said, I have a friend who runs the online all the online stuff for Dynamic Forces and Dynamite Publishing, who may be interested in buying a couple of the retailer tiers.
Oh, that would be awesome, brother.
He didn't want to make any promises, but he said he might just show it to Nick Barucci.
Wow. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I like I said, I am going to get it into the hands of Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. They just emailed me back the other day, and it looks like they'll at least look at it and make up their mind after they see it. And like I said, just anyone who I can think of. I have a couple other publishers I was thinking of showing it to as well.
Dude,
like publishers who I have through the podcast, I have a working relationship, and most of them are some of the better known small indie publishers like Boom and Ignition, and the guys who do all the Toxic Crusader, Toxic Avenger, Toxic Crusader versus my favorite thing that they put out, the Toxic Crusader versus Jesus Christ.
Hey, that would be amazing. Thank you. I mean, you've been so supportive of this, and a lot of people have, man. I was telling Mrs. Nem this the other day. I am literally blown away by the love people have for Space Monkeys. I mean, it's been 2 days. I have already gotten 12 pieces of fan art of Space Monkeys that people are sending it. People saying that when they come for their unboxing, that they're going to dress up as a Space Monkey before they unbox. And we've talked about this. You and I, you were there at the very beginning. You've been there with
I
me.
you actually, and people can go back and check the history because Dave co-hosted the show for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
You actually drew out the first bit of news that you were creating this on an episode of ASR.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. And I don't know if you remember where it came from, but when I did Phoenix Throne, I had a blank back cover. I had a black back cover on the back. Yeah. And I didn't want to send out a book with a blank back cover. To me, that's wasted space. So I was like, well, I could let the printer put an ad on it. And I was like, it's kind of weak sauce. It's not awesome sauce. That's weak sauce. So I was like, so I need to do something. So, I remembered those old comics that you and I, because we're old farts that we used to read, that had
Sea Monkey ads on the back.
Exactly. So I was like, I came up with the whole ad campaign, Space Monkeys, and I showed it to my buddy Mateo, who I've worked with on other books. And he did Space Monkeys, the ad, and put it in there. And man, little did I know that ad that was like just something I came up with on the fly. People saw that and they're like, "Can I get Space Monkeys?" I was like, it's just an ad on the back of Phoenix Throne." It's like.
All right, so the first appearance of Space Monkeys is on the back cover of Phoenix Throne.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And then Mrs. Nim tells me, when we get the book in and she's looking at it and she's looking at the back and she had seen the designs for like Space Monkey stickers and stuff. She's like, "This is the comic you need to do." I was like, get the hell out of here. It's like, nobody wants to buy a Space Monkeys comic book. What is that going to be about?
You, like, a couple of times before you made this a thing, you tell me that, and I told you, I think, and especially when you dropped it here, when you launched the news here about it, almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
I was like, you have something special here.
Yeah, man. And not only this,
Jay and Silent Bob meets Star Wars, meets Beavis and Butthead, Bill and Ted, Star Trek.
Check this out. This is right up your alley. Somebody gave me this idea today, and I think I'm going to run with it and do it. I was on a draw show earlier, and people were drawing Space Monkeys on the show while I was on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and someone said, and I'm going to do it. I'm fairly sure it's going to take a while because I need to come up with the idea and then get it to Mateo. But those boring ass sex ed classes that you go to?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was joking about how I should do a prequel about the conception of Nim's children with the Space Monkeys writing certain things off into the wilderness, and because the Space Monkeys are in me. And he goes, "You should do a sex ed thing like that." I was like, "You're absolutely right." So I'm going to make a little sex ed brochure, with Space Monkeys.
I'm sold.
Huh?
As the comic book and porn guy, I'm so sold on that.
And can you imagine we made it so that you could send it to schools? It's like, okay, kids, take out your Space Monkeys.
I don't know if any schools past California and Nevada would actually accept them, but yeah, that would be sweet.
Yeah. It's like,
a throwback to the old school PSA comics from the 50s.
Like when we're talking about like ovulation, it's like the Space Monkeys are attaching like rocket boosters to the egg. It's like ignition, and it's like it's starting up the fallopian tube.
We have our first seed planted in these humans.
Yeah.
Now it's time to invade. Space Monkeys assemble.
So I was like, oh my God, that's perfect. That's, because it's not taking itself too seriously, but it's good. And I thought that would be hilarious. So
as these humans have a penis, they insert the penis into the vagina. Bring the monkey, bring the monkey. They talk about bringing monkey.
Yeah.
Monkey time.
So, but yeah, like I said, Mrs. Nim was like, "This is what you got to do." And I was like, and I'll be honest with you, I was on the show. I resisted for a few months. I was like, come on.
I know that took like Mateo, Mrs. Nim, me, and a lot of people around you to twist your arm to actually make us into a comic book.
Yeah. And then I finally sat my butt down and I started writing the script for issue 1, and I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, then they're getting the full Nim. So you get the full Monty, you get the full Nim. You're getting everything that's crazy in my mind. It's like you get Jay and Silent Bob and Mel Brooks and Star Wars and all of it wrapped up in one. And people are like, well, that's my kind of crazy. People just love it. So it's cool.
I told one of my retailer buddies, shout out to Jeff over at Eastside Comics in New Jersey. I said, this is Spaceballs meets Star Wars meets Jay and Bob meets Beavis and Butthead. And because he said, hey, can I send you the link, everything, all the info for everything, including the retailer materials on Kickstarter. He said, send me the link. And he said that he's like, that sounds like a hell of a pitch.
Yeah. I even went back old school and I got a line from Blazing Saddles in there. So it's on one of the pages I've already shared, so I don't have a problem, it's not a spoiler, but saying what happened. But at one point, one of the robots has a plan for the rip-off star. That's what we call it, in it. And he goes to get the plans out of the robot. And Captain Mateo bends down and goes, excuse me while I whip this out. And everybody's like, ah! So it's just like Blazing Saddles. So, got to go old school.
You can send this episode to Mateo, the artist on the book.
Yeah.
If that one page ever comes up for sale, it's mine.
Well, I will tell you already. You have been so helpful. I was waiting to announce this. You are getting that page gratis, man. You have been
It's going right on that wall over there, man.
Yeah.
I already have a spot on the Pimp Hall of Fame, and it's got everything that I loved about this series all wrapped into one. The Jay and Silent Bob based characters in carbonite, and it's just tickles my heart.
You know what my favorite part about that is, though? I told Mateo what I wanted, and I thought it was going to be hard to do, and he nailed it. Is I said, when we first see the Jay and Silent Bob characters, when we see Blunt Mite and Cosmic frozen in the carbonite, I said, Blunt Mite has to be smoking a cigarette that's also frozen in carbonite, and Jay has to be throwing up, has his tongue out. It's like doing the classic Jay pose, and he nailed it, man. That was awesome. So,
yeah, and I even told my contacts at the Secret Stash. I said, this indie you might like, and I said there's certain pages you can see that. There are 2 characters in this book based on Kevin and Jay, aka Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we'll check it out. And like I said, and still the getting frozen in a carbonite scene is probably still one of my favorite things from Empire.
And I don't know Jason Mewes, so I don't know what he's like in real life, but I get a kick out of the Jay character of Jay and Silent Bob. I just laugh my ass off every time. And so when I was writing the dialogue for Cosmic in this one, I tried to stay on clues. So like the first line of dialogue he gets when he comes out, he's like confused why they've thought him out. And then they tell him they want him to write the plans to destroy the Death Star. He's like, yeah, boy, I'm going to rip that star like it bent over to pick up the soap. So it's like, oh my God,
Oh yeah. And the cool thing about Jason Mewes versus the character of Jay is they're basically the same person, but real life Jay is a little bit more low key.
Yeah.
He's basically just husband and dad guy.
Yeah.
And even recently he's been doing a lot of stand up. As of late with his Amusing Stories tour.
We throw up the
it's just been like I
there's
said,
a campaign.
One of the things through my 36 year career now in this biz, altogether, is that I've been able to, two of my heroes, which are Kay and Jevin, I have this beautiful friendship and mentor student relationship with.
I think they're fantastic. I think they're absolutely brilliant. I'll be honest with you. One of my favorite movies ever is Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. Man, just so many of my favorite things are in that movie. I mean, Jay and Silent Bob, obviously, but George Carlin and Carrie Fisher, and then
I mean, how many movies you get, a Scooby-Doo cameo, which they changed just enough for legal reasons.
Yeah.
You actually see Shaggy and Scooby doing weird.
Yeah.
You have Carrie Fisher playing a nun, and even though they didn't have screen time together. It's probably one of the first movies since Star Wars that you had Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill in the same movie.
Yep. And then on top of all that it's just so eminently quotable. And like for a long time,
you ever see a fat man and get your balls licked you ever get your balls licked like a fat man in an overcoat?
For a long time, my ringtone, and I had to change it because I was actually at jury duty and my phone went off. And right in the middle of jury duty, you hear in the jury room, ladies, Jay and Silent Bob in his house. Like that.
I actually had the Jay rap as my ringtone for a little bit, so that my whole ringtone here was like, fuck, mother, fuck.
That's awesome.
So it was actually it was in either with a lawyer when I was doing something that I was taking care of, or it was in one of the social workers' office for services for the blind. It went off. Now, that's inappropriate, sir. You should change that.
Well, I will also say, like I said, a lot of my favorite comedy stuff. I would love to say this to Kevin Smith to his face because he deserves it. My two favorite comedic writers to, as far as movie type stuff that have influenced me, Kevin Smith, right alongside Mel Brooks. So
actually, Space Monkeys, that shows.
Yeah. Those two, those two along with Monty Python, but Monty Python less so. Like I get a kick out of Monty Python, but really my sense of humor is right there with those two, man. And I hope that Kevin would understand, what it means for someone like me to say you were standing shoulder to shoulder with Mel Brooks, because I mean it. So
I can't speak for him, but I know he would take that as a compliment.
Yeah.
Just knowing how much of a film geek he is and how much of a love he has for movie history. I know for myself, my comedic writing, my stuff is a mix of Sam Kinison, Carlin, Andrew Dice Clay, and for mainstream movies, it's Kevin Smith and a lot of Quentin Tarantino in there.
Yeah.
And for adult entertainment type stuff, the writing style of Axel Braun.
Yeah.
Who until he retired was the parody king. He's the one who made the Suicide Squad, the porn parody, a better movie than the mainstream Suicide Squad movie of 2016.
And over the years, you've shown me a lot of the trailers for the stuff that he's done, and it's been pretty freaking amazing. So, I mean, that guy had a gift as far as like bringing to life these properties, and doing them justice.
Someone who was the head of Sotheby's auctions and ran a comic book store somewhere in Italy, and huge fan. He saw the first Brie Larson Captain Marvel movie, went into the parking lot, wrote the porn parody in the parking lot in his car right after he saw the first movie.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. It's like
you know, so uh, for my audience who has no clue what Space Monkeys is, give them a brief spoiler-free synopsis of the movie, of the comic.
so just picture that somewhere in a body, somewhere close to you, there is a raging battle going on between space monkeys who are defending that body against the Free Mutate League, whose job it is to mutate the body and turn them into their own version of Cthulhu selves, and so it's a sci-fi parody that combines, my love of Star Wars, Star Trek, Inner Space, Mel Brooks, Jay and Silent Bob, Deadpool, all of it wrapped up into one NIM package and presented to you. It's a trip through my crazy mind, and you get to go on it with me. So come take a ride.
It's a hell of a ride, guys. I've been telling people I can picture this eventually being an animated series.
It's funny you say that. I'm not sure. I did some animation for the campaign video. If you want to see that, or if you want to throw
actually, because I played it on the show last night. Show the video.
All right, here we go.
It's just an amazing campaign video.
Thank you, brother. It's one of the things I like about being indie is that when you need stuff, you learn how to do it, So I have taught myself over the years video creation. I've taught myself animation. I did the color and the lettering on this book.
Nice.
And I drew one of the covers for this book. So
sweet.
And I'm a little taken aback, but the best-selling cover on the book right now is my cover. So
congrats. That's amazing.
Thank you. And not only that, I've also taught myself 3D modeling. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but this is one of the things we're offering for sale. They're a little pricey, but this is a 12-inch statue that I modeled 3D and then 3D printed it. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So those are what the statues look like. All right, sweet.
Yeah. So we got these, and I've got 6-inch and I got 12-inch. So if you want to go full, if you want to go full awesome sauce and get the full awesome sauce experience, you go for the 12-incher, so you take it all.
Give it all the ladies a 12-inch, son.
Yeah. But man, it's been a blast to do this stuff. And I don't want to get too mushy, but I got to give a shout out to Mrs. Nem, who has been behind me 100%, and supportive. And, this is the kind of thing that
Mrs. Nem her flowers, because, she, throughout this whole process has been an amazing support system for you, both personally and professionally, especially in the last year.
Yeah.
There was one place where she messaged me. She's like, Dave is sick. He wanted me to message you, say that he can't make it. I was like, okay.
And the thing is, you know why she's so amazing? She's a Jersey girl. So there it is.
I'm going to be very, very quiet. She's one of the good ones from Jersey.
Yeah. So, she has been incredibly supportive. I mean, this is not the thing. I mean, this when you're doing indie stuff. This is not the thing where you probably will never get rich, and if you do, it's not going to be quick. It takes time. to build, and so, I was mentioning it before. It's like I've sold 100 copies of my novel, and I'm happy about that, So it's like, but that's not going to buy you a mansion in Bel Air either. So, but
Nope. It's not gonna get you one of those $30,000 bags from Prada, and because that was one of the news stories I heard that where Adam Sandler's daughter went into like it was like the Prada store shopping in Bel Air and almost got kicked out because she was wearing a hoodie and shorts.
Wow.
And then Adam Sandler, her dad, came in wearing the exact same thing and bought every bag in the store. And he's like, "Hey, this wasn't about money. This is like that your head manager didn't know how to judge what someone couldn't afford an appearance."
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, we do this stuff because we love it, and
Exactly.
and if you happen to be successful as the world defines success on top of it, then so much the better. But I love this
but
stuff.
I think that comes with time, man, and give yourself some credit. You've been doing the work for a while, whether it was this, whether this is Phoenix Throne. Now I need to see if you have any copies of the Phoenix Throne because it's the first appearance of Space Monkeys.
Yeah.
And through Space Monkeys, Phoenix Throne, your novel, everything you do for Comic Crusaders.
Yeah, I got OPSEC too.
The 9 billion different podcasts and review columns you've been doing there. I somehow honestly got kicked out of Cinema Crusaders, but that's just me busting people's chops.
Yeah,
because you guys normally do movies I haven't seen.
Well, I'm not really,
or movies that are like you guys usually pick things that are not audio descriptive.
I've stepped back from a lot of that, and tried to refocus. Says, it's one of those things where it's like you only have a limited amount of time, and now you got health issues. It's like I got to kind of focus on some stuff, and that's difficult. It's really difficult because I'm one of those people. I'm like you. I like to help people, and I don't like to say no to anything. Not because I want to be a pushover. No, it's just I like to help people and help people realize their dreams and stuff like that too.
And
so
in this industry, it's easy to overtake, especially in this. And you want to see everyone succeed. That can like be a double-edged sword because you can get together with a crew.
Yeah.
Like Comic Crusaders, like Beyond Wednesdays, like and hopefully one day they'll come back, like Demon Seed Radio, where it's a group of people who maybe can barely scrape $20 together, but when comes push to shove, we're all helping each other out, and we take the wins as we can get them.
But
sometimes it feels like we seem to all be doing our own thing, which is awesome.
I've met so many wonderful people in all of this. They're all working behind the scenes and have their dream and are doing their stuff and are talented. And, one of the things I've really come to realize is that, mainstream success is really more about timing. And I mean, you got to be good too, but it's timing and luck, but there are a lot of very talented people out there with some very amazing things, which is, so if you go out there and look at anything, I'm not just talking about comics. I'm talking about indie books. I'm talking about indie film,
music,
indie adult, film, all of that stuff, it is, there's a lot of it out there. And, it's just a matter of getting seen. And that's the biggest thing. But it's like none of that takes away from the passion these people have for what they do and how they bring it to life. So.
And sometimes when you're on a little bit of a smaller level, you just got to continue pushing and pushing, and you know, yeah, it's luck and it's timing, but sometimes it's just even by accident being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I
You
mean,
know, and
the only reason I I met the head of you know OC Modeling, which is one of the major talent agencies for adult, was visually impaired, was trying to find something, saw something I was struggling, asked me if I needed help,
yeah,
and I just started talking. And I was like, what's your name? She goes, my name is Sandy. I'm the I own OC, and you know, you know, like I said, she won't rep me because I'm East Coast based. But she's like, hey, if you ever move to LA, or if you ever want to just book one of my models, let me know. And I was like, I'll keep that in mind.
yeah. I mean, and I know a lot of people who have campaigns right now. In fact, I'm partnering with a couple people on my current campaign, and man, their books are amazing too. So it's like we're all
Like
looking
I said,
up. So
my whole thing with for the longest time with Kickstarter and Fund My Comic and this type of stuff is like you go down the rabbit hole. It's like, there's some great Kickstarters,
yeah, yeah.
and then I want to remind everyone one of the hottest people in the comic industry got his big breakthrough, his Kickstarter, Mark Spears Monsters.
hmm Yeah, well, not only that, I just like I've seen people who are doing, and I've got lots of stuff I would love to do with Space Monkeys, so it's just a matter of time and energy and money too. But it's like there are lots of ideas, but there are a lot of people out there doing all sorts of stuff. So Space Monkeys isn't your thing, and believe me, if you want to go to Kickstarter and look for Space Monkeys and get stuff for Space Monkeys, I am not going to stop you. But there are a lot of people doing indie stuff out there, indie games, indie books, other types of indie comics.
Oh yeah,
It's all out there, So
Kickstarters. I mean, I killed and I look at the clock. I said, "Motherfucker, it's 4 a.m. I have to pretend they try to get some sleep." Monday night, because I had one of those like middle of the road days where it was productive, but taking care of some adulting type crap that
right.
I'm working on getting rid of, and I was looking at games and indie toys and comics, and I was like amazed. I said, "Yeah, I'm gonna spend money. I can't spend."
And eventually, like I would love to do. In fact, I'm planning on doing pops with some of these guys eventually. I came up with an idea. I'm going to conventions this year. If I could swing it for the first convention, which is in May, I think I'm going to do a series of movie posters that are Space Monkeys. So,
Nice.
Do that stuff. I would love to do like a card game.
If you can swing it health and money wise, what's the first and the Nemesis Space Monkeys tour 2026?
So the first one for 2026 is a local convention, and it's Ontario Comic-Con, Ontario Revolution, Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario. It's like 20 minutes up the road for me. So we'll be going to that, and then I'm going to Long Beach Comic-Con this year, and I'm also going to LA Comic-Con. So I skipped.
You skipped the big ones, of course.
Yeah, the WonderCons and the San Diego. I don't know. That would be a ways down the way because San Diego's unless you get a table, San Diego is really expensive. So, but
even then with a booth, it's fucking expensive.
And then I will let you know that 2027, depending on how everything goes with my health and everything, I'm looking at doing 2 travel cons in 2027. One of them will be in Texas to go see some people. I'm going to go to a Texas con. And then one of them will either be Rhode Island Comic Con or New York Comic Con. So
nice.
So I would like to get back there and go to one of those cons. So
sweet. You know what?
And if everything goes to plan, I'm not sure when in the year is New York.
New
Isn't
York
it
is
like?
usually the one that New York Comic Con that happens at Javits since October, and the Big Apple Comic Con, which happens at the New Yorker Hotel, which is usually a 1 to 2 day show, but it happens every year. It's been happening since '96.
So I have
November.
I have lined up funding, independent of my funding from selling everything, because they're two different streams, you know. But I have lined up funding to invest. So realistically, by October of next year, we may almost be done with the 6-issue arc, having it all done. So,
oh wow,
yeah,
nice.
it is entirely possible that may be, you know, we'll definitely be at least 4 issues in, and if things go to plan, we could have the whole 6-issue series done, which means we would be on the cusp of doing the trade for the arc. So.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You know what? So I know that you're besides myself, you're probably one of the biggest Twilight Zone fans I know.
Yes.
You know, do you have a top? If you had to pick like 3 episodes of Twilight Zone, which are the Holy Trilogy, what would you pick?
The Holy Trilogy or my favorite?
Both.
Well, I think they're a little bit different, but I'm gonna try and combine them. So, because I think there are definitely 3 I could tell you that I think embody the Twilight Zone, and then there's the 3 that I always have time to watch. But if I combine them, I would say the first one is, I think, the very first episode of Twilight Zone. I don't remember the name of it, but it's the one where the writer is created a wife and a girlfriend for himself on tape.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't remember the name of that one, but I love that episode. I mean, I think that is like so Twilight Zone, it's not even funny. So that is one. The second one is God, I'm always so bad at the names. The Monsters on Maple Street, is that it?
Yeah, yep.
I love that one. And then the third one, man, this is where I'm torn, because the third one, there's all sorts of places I could go. So I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you the one that's my personal favorite, and then the one I think that is like really, really Twilight Zone. So my personal favorite goes back to the one that scares the living bejesus out of me, and it's Living Doll. So, you know, Talking Tina.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that one scares the bejesus out of me. But if I go back to the one that is like so Twilight Zone for me, and it's really science fiction, and it's awesome, it is the one where the Obsolete Man. So with
you see, I watch the Obsolete Man now, and it's in my top 5.
Yep.
I kind of think they're kind of the episodes that really predicts the future.
Yeah, but there's so many of the Twilight Zone ones. I will say this: that TV show had more to do with shaping my morality and my thoughts on politics and history than just about than school ever did. You know,
I agree. And to answer my own question, for me, it's Kick the Can.
Okay, great.
Where my theory is the little kids you see in the beginning of the episode,
mm-hmm.
The one that they initially get shoot out before the episode starts, are
mm-hmm.
the adults that are in the nursing home.
Yeah.
You know,
I see that.
And in the last 2 years, I've watched that episode a lot, because the moral of the story is you're as old as you think you are.
Yep.
And if you allow yourself to get old in your heart and your mind, that's when you start to die.
That's awesome, man. That's deep.
Yeah, my other favorite episode, and this has taught me how to lighten up on things, is a game of pool.
Oh, yes.
The guy, because Fats wants him to win, because he's no longer the best of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So he can rest in peace. It's like the key to the episode. He's like, you'll know what I mean when it's time for you to leave, Chauncey Street.
I'll tell you right now. Everyone talks about Shatner's multiple appearances on Twilight Zone. Sorry to interrupt.
4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, but Jack Klugman has
Jack
3
Klugman is like the
awesome
king of the
episodes. Yeah,
him and Burgess Meredith are like the king of that show.
yeah, because all 3 episodes. I think he was in 3. All of them.
He was in
rock.
2 of my favorites. The other one is In Praise of Pip.
Yep.
Which is Bill Murray's second episode, not as well known as I think it's called It's a Good Life.
Yep.
Where he plays the little evil bastard kid.
Yep.
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man. I'm wishing your ass into the cornfield.
And then do you remember the Jack Klugman episode where he's a trumpet player and the angel Gabriel comes down? Yeah. Great stuff. So what's your third show? I interrupted you. So
that's right. So it's that if I'm picking for the Holy Trilogy, it's Walking Distance.
Which one is that one?
It's the one where the sales rep walks into the town he grew up in.
Yep. And then he gets hurt on the merry-go-round at the end.
Yep. Which I think everyone who starts to get old tries to go home again.
Mm-hmm. I also have to say, go ahead.
And then, like, my other favorite episode is Death's Head Revisited, where the Nazi war criminal goes back to one of the concentration camps.
Oh yes.
And gets driven insane by the ghosts. And
that
it has
one of the
most powerful, Rod Sterling, message at the end. He's just like, why do we leave these things up? And they're just like, so we never forget.
Yep.
And
like I said, man, that show was so impactful on the way I thought and my morality and everything. It's not even funny.
The way I look at the world, it really is. It's a it's a TV show I watched as a kid, and as I get older and older, and I watch the show and I listen to the radio dramas on YouTube to help me fall asleep.
Yep.
And it's just the lessons I get from my 50s is just really makes me think about life sometimes.
Yeah. I will also say this. This is not a top 10 episode for me, but it kind of opened my eyes as a kid. My parents used to watch Bewitched all the time, and I could take it or leave it. I wasn't big into Elizabeth Montgomery on that show. I was like, okay. But you see her in her Twilight Zone episode with Charles Bronson. She is a hottie in that.
Yeah, that's a great app too.
Yeah.
Actually, there is one episode from the '86 revival that I really super love.
Mm-hmm.
It is called The King, or It's Hard to Be the King, I think.
Right.
It's where an Elvis impersonator goes back in the time, kills Elvis in a fight, and has to become Elvis.
You know what that sounds like to me? It sounds like Bubba Hotep. So.
Oh yeah. The reboot that happened a few years back on Paramount Plus, I've never watched an episode of it yet.
Yeah.
And the early 2000s remake that was on UPN. I only remember one episode that had Sharon and Elizabeth in it.
Okay.
And the remake, and I don't know if this was the '86 or the 2002. They did a remake of the Monsters on Mulberry Street.
Okay.
Which was decent. They just updated it for a post 9/11 America with the same lesson at the end.
Okay.
The only thing we have to do is set one against the other. But my favorite thing is they did a sequel to the Bill Murray episode it's a Wonderful Life, where he plays an adult version of the character, and his daughter plays his daughter. They have Cloris Leachman, he played the mother and the grandmother. And his daughter has the same powers. It's a really fun up.
Well, I will say this as well. Just going on a tangent, but anybody out there who has never seen Bubba Hotep, go check it out. It's like a lot of people have watched it on my recommendation and like wondering what's wrong with me because they're like, "What did you smoke?" But I'm like, you need to watch it at least once in your life because it's different. So.
Oh yeah, it is a different movie. Is there a reason you think none of the Twilight Zone revivals have caught on?
Because I don't think that. I think they're trying to remake something that has already been done instead of taking the spirit of the show and doing something with it. There's. I think there's a lot of lessons that we could write about now. It's like, I don't know. There's all sorts of things that you could write. Like Black Mirror has done this with AI and stuff. I think it's one of the reasons that Black Mirror is so popular. It's like,
is it one of the things I have in my head is I want to do. It's Twilight Zone and based. Mm-hmm. But I want to do someone who's been in a coma since like 1983, 84, 85. And he's been in a coma and wakes up in 2026.
Mm-hmm.
And wants to know what the fuck happened to America.
Yeah. Well, another one I would do is, here's one for you for science fiction standpoint. We're getting very close to the, I say very close, but, relatively close to the time when, you could be plugged into something and feel stuff that it has nothing to do with your body. And it's like, so what is real and what is not real?
Exactly.
What is the things you're experiencing, and it's like, does it matter? Are what you experience are your reality, what is actually going on in the world, or is it what you're, the Matrix, that type of thing. So,
we're in the world where, things like the holodeck from Star Trek,
right?
It's pretty much reality at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they've gotten to the point now where they could stimulate your brain and make you feel things that don't exist in reality. But at the same time, does it really matter at that point? It's like, what is reality? What is reality really? Is it and that brings all sorts of questions. Same thing with look at what was going on last year with the whole Atlas 3i thing and people freaking out. It's like, that's a Twilight Zone episode right there. People's reactions to it, so.
One, like I said, I know that IDW just put out a new Twilight Zone comic book series, which I have not had a chance to check out yet.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, every so often it's something that either comic books or Hollywood brings back, and it just feels like, okay, you're trying to do what Souling did, but you're doing it without the heart or the soul of the message.
Yeah, I mean, like, for instance, if I was redoing and trying to build on something classic like Monsters on Maple Street, I would have, in this day and age, would do it based on COVID. And the hysteria that rose up around that. So that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, there's so many things you can do. I know you're also one of the biggest DC fans on the planet.
Yes.
What did you think Jason Momoa is Lobo in the Supergirl trailer?
I think he looks friggin' awesome. I think that he has nailed it. I didn't mind him as Aquaman, and I would even go beyond that. I said I enjoyed especially the first Aquaman movie. I haven't seen the second one yet, but he was born to play Lobo, man. He looks like Lobo. When he came out in that trailer and he's on the bike
Yeah.
And it's flaming. I was like, well, there's Lobo right there. So
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm really looking for. I think Millie Alcock as Supergirl looks great.
yeah. Did you see
Uh,
they released pictures of Atrocitus the other day?
uh, no, I have not.
I was shocked. I didn't think they would do this. They released pictures of Hal and John in their Green Lantern costumes standing next to Atrocitus, and Atrocitus looks comics accurate. I was like, wow.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah.
Now here's the real question: since Crypto is the dog of the DCU,
Yeah.
you think we get Dexter?
Say that
Dexter,
again.
the little Red Lantern cat.
Oh, that's a good question. That would be cool.
Just because we all know how James Gunn loves animals.
Yeah.
Uh, you know,
Honestly, you know what I think we're gonna get? That James Gunn is a crazy bastard. And I will be shocked if he does it, although I'll be sad because Paul Rubens can't voice him. I think we're gonna get Batmite. I really do. So
ever since it was name dropped,
yeah,
and he didn't say no, yes or no. It when he was asked if it was canon, he just like nodded his head like a kind of yes.
yeah.
I
I
think we're gonna get a live action, or since he says whoever does the character in animation also does it in live action.
yeah.
As sad as Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubens cannot voice him. I'm really hoping that we get Batman.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I think if they do Batmite before he passes away, because he's getting on in years, I would love to see them do a Mr. Mxyzptlk with Gilbert Gottfried. So
I hate to break it to you, bro.
oh no, that's right.
Passed a few years back.
I forgot about that. Oh man. See,
and as someone who worked with Godfrey on the Stern Show,
yeah,
Girth, what you saw on screen was almost pretty much what you got in real life.
really?
Yeah. Now he was a sweet guy, but there were certain points where it was what you got on camera, at least the things that weren't scripted, was just him on crack.
Oh wow.
10 times 11.
That's kind of sad.
Very sweet guy. Very giving, very loving. It was just a little cuckoo.
You know who could probably do both of those voices really well is Billy West.
You beat me to it.
Okay.
Billy West, or he voiced Clayface. He voices Clayface and Harley Quinn and Creature Commandos. Alan Tudyk.
Oh yes, he's really good.
He could, like I said, even I forget the actor's name, but the actor who does Bane in Harley Quinn can do it really amazing too.
That is always fun too. You know what? I've been surprised. Isn't it Kaylee Cuoco who does Harley in that cartoon? Yeah.
Fun fact, a little bit of trivia. She's not the only Big Bang Theory cast member to play Harley Quinn. The Batman Harley Quinn animated movie that had Lauren Lester and Kevin Conroy in it.
Mm-hmm.
Melissa Rauch, Bernadette, was the voice of Harley Quinn.
Wow.
And if anyone wants to watch Batman Harley Quinn, it's free on YouTube right now. With all the other, DCU animated movies from the 2010s.
Very cool. I'm sorry. People are sending me. Someone just did 2 more sketches for fan art for Space Monkeys. So
That's awesome. So did you think you would be
Oh my
getting this much fan art this quick?
No. Somebody just drew Ozzy Osbourne as a space monkey.
Is there any way you can show me in the audience?
Ozzy monkey.
That's amazing.
Oh my God. I can't wait till I get these in the mail. Oh Lord.
That's amazing.
So cool. Do you remember the character Show Nuff?
Yep.
Somebody did today Show Nuff as a space monkey.
That's awesome sauce.
So I'm gonna put, and when I do the book, I'm gonna put a selection of the fan art in the back of the book. So
yeah, nice. Have you been in touch with Mateo? And how's his reaction to all this?
He's floored, man. He is tickled pink. He is like, I can't believe it. He thinks it's fantastic, man. He loves to see people taking what he's done and what they do with it. When Lou Pons is the one who did the main cover, when he first saw the main cover, he was floored. He's like, I can't believe it. So I mean, he is all in. He loves Space Monkeys. I think that I could sign Mateo up for 100 issues of Space Monkeys, and he would be all for it.
That's amazing. And you know what? I could see a publisher like a Dynamite or a Boom or an Ignition Press or a Keen Spot picking us up. I see big things for this. I've seen big things for this from day one. I just want to say, as one of my best friends on the planet, and you and I have been helping each other get through our health issues and other personal matters and being cheerleaders in our personal lives. When I saw that by 4:00 East Coast time Monday afternoon that you were already funded, I was like, holy shit. And it felt great.
Thank you, brother. It felt good. Man, I'm just floored. I am absolutely blown away by this. And it's one of my favorite books by Douglas Adams is called The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul, which has its own kind of hidden message to it. But one of my favorite quotes in there that I kind of live by is Dirk Gently practices Zen navigation. So he never gets directions. He just kind of drives, and whatever catches his eye, he gets there. And someone asked him, was like, well, how do you live your life like that? And here's the quote that I love from that book. He's like, I rarely end up where I intended to go, but I always end up where I needed to be. So, it's like,
yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. My whole life has kind of been that, but, there are times when I think that there's got to be somebody up there, gently steering me where I need to go. So, and I'm thankful for that.
I've been feeling that same way lately. It's, sometimes, it always goes back to, that, sometimes you don't get what you want, you get what you need.
Yep.
I also have been modifying that to sometimes, it's not what gets put in your way. It's what a higher power or the universe takes out of your way so you can get to where you want to go. I've got to a point where I've become more about the journey than I am the destination.
Yeah. And without getting too deep, I think part of that is when you realize that we only have a limited amount of time on this earth, so to quote another Kevin Smith movie, I don't want to show up somewhere and it'd be like, Jay and Silent Bob and look at these two morose motherfuckers. Right. So, yeah.
I actually quoted
it for me to quote Holden McNeil, but there it is. So.
I actually quoted that to a high school kid the other day, and I had to fucking show them. I had to go on YouTube and show them the clip from Jason Amy.
Yeah. Oh man.
They know what I was talking about, I was like,
And
because
now,
I went because my one of my favorite shoppers at ShopRite helped me shop yesterday, and we were clatting around, and I was like, "Look at this most motherfucker right here. Smells like someone shit in my cereal bomb." Goes, what the
and
fuck
now,
is that from?
and now I'm gonna have to look to see if there's a moviepoopshoot.com. So
Actually, I know there. I don't. There actually used to be. I don't think. I don't think. I don't think it's been live for a couple years. But I know it from about 2003, 4ish to about maybe 2015ish. Maybe I know it was live because they used to do comic book reviews in the whole 9 yards.
that's awesome. It's awesome, man.
You know Kevin Smith. If he comes up with something in a movie,
Yep.
you know, there are times when I say, okay, it'll be a year or two, but we'll see that in real life.
I think now that I'm thinking about it, now I'm like, I gotta find a way to work the Indian guy who owned the coffee shop in Mary.
Mary make a porno.
I tell you, so that's gotta be in there.
You fuck you, suck cock. One day I get a camera, and I know you do everything. You scratch your balls, scratch your ass, whatever. And then my other thing I can't say, but is that a new holiday?
Yeah, Black Friday. It's like you have to work on Black Friday. It's White Monday.
Yeah, actually, there's an extended deleted scene of that I just discovered,
Yeah.
which is hysterical.
Oh my god, that's one of my favorite things. For a long time, I used to say that all the time. I tell you.
There used to be a mom and pop coffee shop by the strip mall by my parents' house. You know, every now and then I used to like quote the character in there because they just had that bean and gun vibe. Like, yeah, if I ever wanted to shoot a porno in a real coffee house, I know where to come.
Sorry, I'm like typing to people at the same time as I'm talking to you. So
No problem, man. I am tickled pink that one of my, a project that I believe in, created by one of my best friends on the planet, is blowing up like this.
yeah, and I hope it keeps going, man. I don't
Tell
know.
all the retailers, you guys should get in on this while you can, because this is going to be the next monsters.
Yeah, I really, and it's like, and it's just going to keep going. We're going to do issue 2 and issue 3 and get through 6, and we're going to defeat Carl and Sally, those little bastards, and then we're just going to keep going. So, yeah, man. So I'm really excited about that. I got tons of ideas for other arcs to do. So. Man, like I was saying, this is not where I thought I was going to go, but it is where I needed to be, and I am tickled pink to be here now. It's like, so.
Oh yeah, I mean, and like I said this off camera, I'll say it on camera. Whatever I can do to help out and getting this in the shops, and being a sales rep to make sure that hopefully whatever I can do to help, I'm there.
Thank you so much, brother Ben. That is awesome. I hate to be that guy, but I've been burning.
Yeah, no, I'm about to do the same thing because my family just came home and they're yelling and bitching about dinner in the background, and I want to say, you're my thoughts and prayers for your health, and you're gonna kick that you're gonna punch cancer in the face. You're gonna beat it up.
Thank you, man.
And then, one day Space Monkeys is going to be an animated movie, and I'm going to throw the after party at the Bunny Ranch, and it's going to woo.
Space Monkeys sex education pamphlets are going to be out there, so the Space Monkeys sex education classroom materials. So
yeah, come to Pornhub soon. Yeah. So. Everyone go to Kickstarter, Space Monkeys #1 by Dave Howard. is live until March 2nd. We're already up to the second stretch goal. To all the retailers, there are 2 main retailer tiers, but you can also tailor it to how you want it on the retailer tier. And, you know, I think Dave still has his official website for all his project at nemesis.com.
Yep. It's
It's
nemspace.online. Nemspace.online. So.
Yep. Nemspace.online. Nemesis FC2 everywhere on social media. I think he still does things for Comic Crusaders every now and then.
Yep.
Once again, I want to thank Weepa. Like I'll fucking mega to people. I can't do that. Weepa.
Weepa.
Yeah. So big shout out to Weepa Studios to the music. www.comiccrusaders.com. Once again, I want to thank the official pizzeria, Del Marco's Pizza, 1926 Union Dairy Road, New Jersey 07421 973 728 1344. DelMarcosPizza.com for sponsoring the episode. If you want to follow me, Instagram at The Real Boy Adam. Awesome Sauce Radio on YouTube. Like and subscribe. I love you all. Blind Adam out.
And boom. Oh, come on.